Hi. They never do much on the outer frame. They haven't pulled any comb out of the wax that's on the frame. But that's normal. We're going to put another box on here today if they've filled 80% of the comb. So on the outside of that one right there, they're starting to pull out some comb. You can kind of see it. On this side it's even further out, so they're moving. They got some pollen in that side of it. They're pretty docile. They're leaving me alone. As long as I don't mess with the queen. So this one's got much more comb pulled out. And up in the upper left-hand corner, they've got some capped honey. So if on the other side, if we've got 8 frames, that's 80%. So on the other side, if we've just got one frame that doesn't have any comb on it, like this one, they're putting honey in this one. And they're actually, on that side of it, she's laying some eggs, the queen is, and there's actually some brood right there, just one brood cell. And they've got pollen in there. You can see the yellow. The eggs in there that I can see are little white dots, so you probably wouldn't be able to see them on the camera very well. Oh, lots of brood here. And eggs. So they're doing really well. Even on that side of it, there's some brood. I'm going to put another box on there so they don't swarm and they build another brood box. That'll give more and more bees to make it a strong hive. We'll get plenty of honey. I'm also looking to see if there's any varroa mites in there on the nurse bees, but I'm not seeing anything. This looks really good. looking for the queen, but there's no other place on this frame for her to lay. So she was probably in that last frame, because I did see eggs in there. Can't see any eggs here because, well, there's a few eggs, but most of it's already brood that's growing. And they've got a little honey for the brood when they hatch up in the left and right corners, so the brood has something to eat on. This is at Kim's mom's and dad's house. So many bees that I gotta be careful putting it back down, or some of them will get crushed. Gotta go real slow so I can crush as few bees as I can. These brood are about to hatch, and there's a lot of eggs and actually some honey back filled in to where brood has hatched. So this started out with five frames that I got from a nuke, and these frames already have hatched bees, and it's a very good queen because she's laid more eggs on this one. So this is probably the second since we put the nuke in, and it's got a good brood pattern there. All cap brood. I see a couple bees that are emerging. Same on that side of it. They're doing really well. I'll definitely put a new box on, even if it's not 80%, because there's so many bees right now and there's so much brood in here. So I'm getting into the original frames. Yeah, and these have been backfilled. They've got new broods laid. There's some honey in there. Lots of pollen, lots of nectar, lots of eggs. So these eggs that have been laid are the third generation since I put this in. That looks really pretty there. Little bridge comb on there I could take off, but I don't want to disturb them. There's a lot of bees on it. I forgot my smoker. The smoker kind of helps keep the bees down low. If you look here, there's a lot of bees on top. The smoker will push them back down. But they're pretty docile bees. They're not going after me or anything. Honey in the corners, capped honey in the corners for the new bees, and lots of brood. This is all worker brood. I can tell because there's not any drone brood, which is a bigger cell, and there's no queen cells, that they've that they put on the bottom. They usually put queen cells on the bottom if they're getting ready to swarm. But these are good bees. Lots of new brood there. So what I'm going to do today for this one is I'm going to take some of the frames that are empty like this one that haven't been worked yet and put them in the middle between very good brood frames. They call it checkerboarding. Okay, so they're putting a lot of honey in this one, and there's a lot of eggs laid. There's honey on top. They've drawn out this comb. So this is one of the original 5. And on the other side of it, they're drawing out new comb. You can tell how white it is. That's pretty new comb. They're doing really well, I think. All right, so these outer 2, they haven't done much with, but they are drawing it out, so that's good. That'll give us the 80% because they're drawing it out. They've got nectar in this one. And not much on that side, so might be 75%, close enough. And this outer one, starting to draw a little bit, but not much. So the 2 outer ones are going to go inside. So what I'll do is I'll pull this one apart. Which will be right next to the 5th one. And we'll put that empty one in there, and they should draw it out in this next week. And we'll push these out. And put this one in. This is the empty one from the other side. We'll push the whole group back together. It gives them their bee space. And here's a new box. I'm going to brush these bees off the corners. And then slowly shove this on so not to crush as few bees as I can. There we go. So they should start. These frames have some comb on them from last year. So the bees will clean that up and they'll use some of that comb to keep drawing out the comb so that the queen can come up and lay some more eggs. And we're going to put our sugar water back on because it's supposed to be raining this week and they still need food to oops, I got to put my cover on first. They still need food to draw out comb because this week the chances of rain are pretty good, so they'll probably use that sugar water. And what I did, oh, here's my jar. Now they emptied it from last week. All right. So we'll put that there. This is a honey super we'll use later on for honey. Put some frames in there. Here comes Kim's dad. Hey.
How are they looking, Bill?
Really good.
They like it there.
I took a video.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I put some more sugar water in there to feed them in case they need it. They emptied it. Just finishing up. How you doing?